Hello, everybody, and welcome to People in the Boxes, episode 125. If you're catching this, you might be seeing the replay. Check out the show and let us know what you think, and share your, experience in the comments. And we're going to be getting back in just about 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Going to play a little intro, give us some time to like and share the video out. If you could help us out with that, hit that like button and tag some friends in here. We'll be back in 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Cozy room where the lights are dim sits Waylon the farmer with a heart full of whim. He's not tilling fields or sowing seeds, but planting thoughts, fulfilling needs. People in the boxes, that's the name of the show, where voices unite, let their stories flow. From all walks of life, they come to share their hopes, their dreams, their daily fare. With headphones on and mic in hand, Waylon invites listeners from across the land. He says, come on in, don't be shy. Let's talk about life, let's give it a try. People in the boxes, dogmies unfold. In this podcast, hearts are bold, breaking down walls with every word. In Waylon's world, everyone's heard. Everyone's heard. From the city slicker to the country lass, every episode a new class, discussing love, work, and everything in between. Waylon's voice, the perfect scene. He cultivates thoughts like crops and rows, his podcast a garden where wisdom grows. No matter the topic, big or small, Waylon's there, connecting us all. So tune into People in the Boxes tonight, where every voice shines and every story's right. With Waylon the farmer, indoors we might be, but through this podcast, we're all free. This song for Waylon, for bringing us together, in a world where we all seek to connect forever. People in the Boxes, tune in, you'll find a community where every voice is intertwined. If you cultivate thoughts like crops and rows, every episode a new class, discussing love, work, and every word. In Waylon's world, everyone's heard. From the city slicker to the country lass, every episode a new class, discussing love, work, and everything in between. Waylon's voice, the perfect scene. From the city slicker to the country lass, every episode a new class, discussing love, work, and everything in between. Waylon's voice, the perfect scene. He cultivates thoughts like crops and rows, his podcast a garden where wisdom grows. No matter the topic, big or small, Waylon's there, connecting us all. So tune in to People in the Boxes tonight, where every voice shines and every story's right. With Waylon the farmer, indoors we might be, but through this podcast, we're all free. This song for Waylon, for bringing us together, in a world where we all seek to connect forever. With Waylon the Boxes, tune in, you'll find a community where every voice is intertwined.
All right, everybody, what's up, guys? It is Thursday night, 8 o'clock Central Time. It is 1/2/2025, January 2nd, the new year. Let's go, episode 125 on People in the Boxes. It's kind of interesting, 25, right? So we've got a good show for you, hopefully a positive one for you guys tonight. So if you guys could help us out, hit that like button, share us out with some friends. I'm going to put the link down in the comments because, as always, we always want people from the comments to feel free to come up and share, whether you are a content creator or not. If you are, all the more merrier. But we definitely want you to come up and share on the topic before we do any promoting, of course. But so I did stick the link in the chat. And I see a lot of people coming in already. Let's blow it up, guys. Run it up, tap it in, or whatever you got to do. Bop it, twist it. Let's go. So we got Kim, we got Red Six, we got Bean Dongo, as you all might know. We got our new friend Ed. Do you go by Ed, or should I say Edwerlin? Or is that like
Either one doesn't matter. Edward Lynn, Ed.
I like Ed. I had a brother named Ed, so we're gonna go with that. Brother Ed, I got you, man. So we got Ed from X. That's awesome, man. I really appreciate you coming in. We are trying to branch out into the other zones, right? And I see you found us on YouTube. That's awesome. Thank you. YouTube doesn't really like my content for some reason, but we won't get into that right now. We're being hopeful tonight. No, we're not going to be the opposite of hopeful tonight. Yeah, happy 2025, guys. It's always a time of hope, isn't it? I'm going to look up, you guys know me on this show. I like to look up the definition of our topic. We're going to see what it actually stands for. But there's some symbols that a lot of us take into account, like the dove. And, you know, the new year is usually pretty hopeful. What do you call it? The New Year's resolution, right? I just call them goals, right? What kind of goals are we going to set? What are we going to try? Something new, get out of our comfort zone, if you will. So we're just going to kind of get into it. We're going to relax and have some fun. Appreciate you guys hitting those tags. Thank you very much. And of course, you do get a chance to win a game night ticket tonight. And we're going to be doing 2 more spins over on over for the locals members or my subscriber members. 1 second, I got to take a picture of this. So Kick is not letting me go live, and I've been in contact with Kick. So shouts out, their customer service is pretty quick over at Kick, but Kick is actually keeps kicking me out from going live, and so now I have a screenshot of the error that is dumb. Anyway, moving on. So we're going to do a little dab. It's 7:10. Shouts out to anybody that is a medical cannabis or recreational cannabis user. Anybody else, I'll cheers you with my water. So what's up, guys? I've been talking too much. Let's go around the room. Hi, Kim. How are you doing? What's up? I know you're every which way but up right now. How's the house going? I've been seeing some updates.
Well, so I had some flooding going on with the bathtub, and the warranty guy finally came back from vacation today, and they had a plumber and another guy come out, and the plumbing underneath the tub was all messed up, and so that was what was causing the flooding. And so the 2 bedrooms on either side got flooded. They're going to have to replace the carpet. There's like all this stuff that needs to be done now with that. And then I've been working in my backyard trying to plant my trees. So I got it.
Trees?
Huh?
What kind of trees? Fruit trees?
I planted 2 red buds. And I planted 6 arbovite. They get like, they're big tall trees that are very similar to Italian cypress, but they're a lot skinnier. I wanted something slimmer than that because those trees get really big. They get fat.
I know, like Cypress Hill. You know, like I don't know if that's a similar thing, but.
You're funny. So those are planted, the red bud and the arborvitaes are planted, and then I'm digging holes for the pistachio. I have a male and a female pistachio that I want to plant, and a purple, what do you call it, an ornamental plum.
Oh,
But
ornamental
it's
farm.
hard
Okay.
digging the soil. I have really hard soil. It's really hard caliche clay soil. So I bought an auger, a
Susan,
soil auger,
come on up, Susan.
and hooked it up to my drill motor. So it's been helping me. But yeah, the big trees, the 3 tree
Yeah.
holes that I dug, it's a process. So I just soaked them. I filled them up with water yesterday. They're really mucky, and I don't like dealing with mucky mud. So when it dries out a little bit, I'll get the auger out there and
August. Okay. Cheyenne's in the house. He beat me in Connect 4 last night on my own show. I boasted. I was like, I'm going to beat everybody. I said, motherfucker, I'm going to beat all of you. Okay. And he comes through and he's like, well, I don't know what number. I guess I'll pick this number. Boom. Got me.
2. I'll take 2 for the win.
Yeah. Well, you know, and for some reason, while we were talking about it last night, I was like, oh, it'll be no problem. We can just do some more of this tomorrow night. No, we can't. We're busy on this night. We got shit to talk about. So it was an interesting experiment, me playing a game with someone in the comments, and it just takes too long, the back and forth and stuff. But I got Cheyenne down. I think we're going to do something for him either way. But make sure tonight, you guys in the comments, hit that like button, share us out if you can, and that you get in on a wheel that I'll do at the end of the night for everybody that hit the button. And you get an extra chance if you go to Rumble and X. I'm actually going to start doing some specific giveaways for X. I have a group on X. Join the group. Join the group. And that's for sort of anybody across platforms to be able to find a home there or hold, you know, a beachhead into the X. So join the group if you want. So anyway, sorry guys, we got Red 6 in the house. What's up, Red 6?
What's going on, everybody?
I was the boy who won the boost pushes tonight.
Andrew Chapman. I haven't heard back from him yet. Usually it takes a day or two for people to get back, but I've actually had 2 packages that nobody's claimed. I just sent them a message. They got a week to claim it. If not, it's going back in the giveaway pool. And I'll probably just double them up for the week or do 3 in a week. You know what I mean?
There you go. So you give out seeds, right? I gave Bean Dongo won some seeds recently, and he was like, I don't need these. I'm like, bro, that's gold. You got plenty of people that want those, you know.
Yeah.
So what kind of genetics are you giving away nowadays? You got the white glove, I'm sure. Some white glove
Yeah,
seeds.
we've done some white glove. Tonight we had some Napalm Gardens. I've had some Kindway Farms, 34 Mongrels, Golden Ratio. Joda sent me some of his stuff.
What's he called now? I know he's changed it a little bit.
Grower Republic Genetics.
Oh, I didn't know that was his, actually. I thought he called it something. He used to call it Yoda or something like that. His nickname. What, Kim?
Yeah.
Do you work with John Martinez from Chubby's?
Nope, I have not heard from them actually.
He's cool. He's I sent him some Willie Nelson and some oh my God, Sweet Tooth to breed my Willy Wonka weed for me. So he's breeding.
Sweet Tooth, huh?
He's breeding for me.
Sounds like the name of like Pennywise's cousin or whatever. Sweet Tooth the Clown.
Right.
Have you seen the Attack of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
No,
Anyway,
I'm not a movie buff like you are.
just from the 80s. I grew up on the television, so I guess that's why, you know, I don't worry about my son watching any TV. Well,
You know, my son's from your generation. He was out playing all the time, dude. Like my son was busy.
well, you know, with autism, I don't know. At least my son's autism. I'm not trying to act like I know, because the saying goes, if you know one person with autism, you know one person with autism. They're so different, each one of them. So with the way he is, he identifies so heavily with the characters that he learns to like and love. I mean, and some of them I wish he didn't like, you know, like some of these Disney characters, right? Because I'm kind of against a lot of what's going on there. but at the same time, they're beloved characters from like my childhood too. And it's like, all right, okay. And so today we were in the store, grocery store, and he's going. I walked away from him probably like 10 feet away, and he's at the cart, and he goes, "Oh, I see Looney Tunes. I see Looney Tunes." I'm like, okay. I'm like far. I'm like not close to him really. I'm like across the grocery store. Oh, all right, okay. And he keeps saying until the lady walks by him that it was on her shirt. So I had to explain to him like that's even though you didn't say anything wrong, like that's not. It's kind of rude to be just like talking about someone's like getting them pointed out, or I don't know how to pointing them out, making them singled out. I guess I'm not sure what to say, but there's a couple. Like one lady was okay with it, and then he did it again later on. It was a younger gal with a Mickey Mouse shirt on, and I'm like, I don't think she appreciates that. You need to, that's being rude. And he's like, oh no, he's so argumentative. No, it's not being rude. No, it's not. We're not rude. We're not rude. Like, oh, I just told you. Like, anyway.
We're invading somebody's personal space, dude.
Yeah, and it's like, you didn't say anything bad, as this was kind of wacky. But, Bean, how's your back, man? I broke my back when I was young. I know, I remember it still, so.
Yeah, it's terrible. I just hate being useless.
Well, you have your mind. You can do. I've talked about this to a couple other friends. Like my niece is pregnant, and she has I believe she's got preeclampsia, and I'm like, look, I get it. It's frustrating. Can't do anything. But what you can do is you can sit down and like make a plan, like write some shit out, and like make some decisions like ahead of time that you wouldn't have time to do when you're moving around.
Yeah.
Anyway, not to like that's the hopeful part of tonight. Let's go.
That's pretty much where I'm at, but I can't go too far into that.
Yeah, don't give us your secret sauce, right? But in general, though, what are you looking forward to? Okay.
What'd you do to your back?
Had a pallet of fence posts fall on me at work.
Oh my!
Pinned me between the pallet and the forklift and fractured 2 vertebrae in my back.
This dude could have been crushed.
Dude, if I didn't have this hard head, I'd be a pancake.
Did you have a hard hat? I think I might have asked you this already, but
I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about. No, I'm kidding.
Let's go. Okay.
Well, it doesn't sound like he needed a hard hat. It sounds like he needed a hard body.
Yeah. I got that. I don't know if you could see it.
Oh yeah.
Busted my head wide open. Yeah. I just went and got an MRI today on my head, and I don't know if any of y'all have ever gotten an MRI on your head. I've gotten them on different parts of my body and stuff, but with the head, like not only do they put you in that tube, but they put your head into this plastic cage. So like they lock your fucking head into this cage, and then you slide into the tube. So like, if you're claustrophobic, it is not for you.
Yeah, I don't think I had to do that. I had an MRI, but it wasn't for my head, I guess. It must have been. You know what I remember about it is like it makes your whole body feel cold because they're putting that liquid into you that's like radioactive or whatever.
Well, that's if they're doing with contrast.
Yeah.
Right.
Today I had to do it with and without. Yeah, today I had to do it with and without. So they put me in for 16 minutes laying there like, the loudest thing in the world. And then they pulled me out and they're like, all right, we're going to put the contrast in now and do it again. I'm like, God damn.
Come on up, man, if you want. Kayla, what's up?
I'm not claustrophobic, so like I can go into like a meditative state real quick. So I just like, it went by like nothing.
I used to not be, but when my PTSD, so I had my PTSD at a level where it wasn't too bad, like I could function, but then I had an episode, I had some stuff happen and I can't do it anymore. If I have an MRI, I have to do an open MRI.
Yeah, that would be weird.
I have certain fears, but as long as I'm in a controlled environment, my fears are gone. Like if I know that like this thing's not going to collapse on me, but if I would never go through like one of them, them cave people go through caves in them little tunnels, and hell no.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's the tight areas, man. Yeah. But you know what? You just touched on something that we might be able to have an episode about, where most people, there's some kind of a psychological block, I guess. Most people will do something they know is wrong if someone in that authority tells them to. I might be wording this weirdly, but there was a conversation I just heard recently where, like, they had this experiment. Oh, about my mic. Tell me if I'm all right. They had this experiment where a bunch of people were in a room and they were hooked to these electrodes and they were going to be shocked. And they had the students in the room and their teachers were the ones that were going to be turning the dial to shock them. This was all voluntary. But what the teachers didn't know was what the people were hooked up to the electrodes were faking it. They were acting, and they acted really good. But basically, as the person says, like, you see on the dial the like red or like the max, and the person that's standing there says, "Go ahead and turn it. You can go ahead and turn it past that." And like most of the time they did, and they had to stop doing that experiment because it actually gave some of those teachers PTSD, because they for years they were like, "Why did I don't know. I don't know why I did it. I don't know why I did it," even though he said it was okay. Like, they just could not figure out why. And there's this something in us, like you were just saying, when you're in a controlled environment where you feel like everything is taken care of, you let go of that.
Fear of, the outcome of,
Yeah. And take like needles, for example. When you're in a medical situation, they can blow your vein or whatever, trying to get into your vein. And if they don't, you think everything went fine, but there's not much space between doing that and not doing that when it comes to like making a bruised arm and stuff. So hey, Ed, I don't know if you're here. I see that you're muted, but I want to make sure that we let you say who you are and such. Give us your.
I'm still here. I'm just listening in and hearing you guys chit chat. I'm waiting for the hope.
Hey, we go for a couple hours, so the hope is we're within our conversation, and you're making a good point. I'm going to look up the definition here, like I said I was going to do, but when we talk about hope, we talk about something that we don't know what's going to happen, but what the outcome that we are wishing to happen or we hope to happen. And I think some people get really upset when the outcome they were hoping to happen doesn't happen, as if it was an expectation and not a hope, And let me just read the overview of it. It says, hope is a feeling and a way of thinking that involves imagining and working towards a better future. It can be an active process of conscious and unconscious reasoning and is considered to have a greater emotional component than just expectation, right? So hope is important in time and uncertainty and when dealing with adversity. So I like it, and I think a lot of people are in uncertainty right now. I don't know. It almost feels like fight or flight comes into there. Like if you're freaked out by something, then you're going to be like in panic mode. And hope is basically just the feeling that you have a way out. There's a way forward. You have something that can be done about the situation, right? At least that's from my it says, as a verb, hope means to expect with confidence, okay, or to cherish a desire with anticipation. For example, I hope she remembers, or I hope to be invited. Okay, I guess that's probably what we use most of the time as the verb. Interesting. Didn't even think about the contrast between the noun and the verb until now. I like it though. Well, what do you think, Ed? I mean, I think coming from, at least from the platform that we met on, there's a lot of hope for the discourse of people being able to like talk things out and actually have that back and forth, and that's kind of what this show is about, being able to all of us give our perspective and then gain some perspective on it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. I'm 61, and in my 61 years, there's been a lot of challenging times in life. And I've learned not to base things on how I feel, but more about who I am. So when I was sharing with you earlier about hope being a medicine, for me, hope, it heals, it unites us, and it can guide us forward. I'm hopeful that our country can get back to our three documents, like I was sharing with you earlier,
Sure.
and that we hold we hold ourselves responsible for our own choices, within our families and things like that. Hope for me with my children, my grandchildren, is that they grow resiliently to not only love themselves but to love their country. It also encourages me hope to speak with kindness, because right now it's not like that. I want to also forgive with sincerity, because I can choose these things every single day. Hope gives me a brighter tomorrow, and hope that the days that come. Obviously, our first couple days here in America have been pretty challenging. The climate hasn't been good. Where I don't know if it's things that's going on, but because we have this 15-second news cycle now with all these different platforms, I think we have a country of people being much more feeling of anxiety. Every storm comes to an end. It doesn't matter, like I tell my children, no storm ever comes to stay. Every season ends. It's only 4 months. So I'm very hopeful, but you got to have patience through these things. A lot of people don't have patience. Like you said, I heard you earlier say, you wait, 48 hours or, 24 hours before, you jump on a bandwagon. And I think that a lot of us right now, especially a lot of Americans, because we're so defocused on the foundation of things, that we're moved by everything. Our government has not always been who they should be. My wife calls it experts in error. We have a lot of people who are experts, but they've done a lot of error. We found it out with COVID, making people do stuff. And like I tell my children, there's not an American on the planet who could tell you how you should govern your own life. I don't care what office they hold, whether it's the president or a governor or a senator. They have no more rights than any of us. But we, which is very interesting, everybody wants to lean. Even in the next 19 days, we're going to inaugurate President Trump. But he's just one person. He can't make decisions in my house. Like I tell my children, what happens in my house is much more important than what happens in the White House. So every day I wake up innocent. I don't want to be guilty. So like I tell my children, I didn't get to choose to be born in America, but I'm glad I did. I didn't get to choose to be born a male. I'm glad I am. I didn't get to choose to be born to be black. It's okay. But every day I do get to choose to be kind. I don't want to cause division of anybody. If I could give people a hand up versus a hand out, that's the language I want to speak. That's the hope I want to speak. I want to make sure that I healed and build versus tear down. I land on this, guys. I'm 61, and I learned one thing. There's a lot of negativity in the world. I just don't want to participate in it because it's still my choice. So if I could choose every day to do the best I can, I want to be a positive influence in people's lives. I want to be the smile in people's life. I want to be a listening ear as long as I can, because I can't live this life all by myself. Like I tell my wife, I don't want to be right. I want to do what's right. And if we could do that together, I think all of us are better. Look for the good in other people, not always the negative. And I don't always look for people that I could disagree with. I try to look where do we agree, because I believe in clarity over agreement. So that's what I see. And thank you very much for letting me come up and talk, because 2025 for me is the year of you. So whatever you can do in your life, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, your family relationships, work on that more than what's outside of you, because I can't be concerned about things I can't change. There's nothing I can do about it. People who choose to take their car and drive into crowds, or people who choose to get a bomb, and people who choose to get radicalized. I wish that didn't happen, but it does. And that's not my choice. But I got to choose to make sure I'm doing the best I can to shed a little bit more light to the world to make it a better place. That's how I see it.
I like it, man. I like it. It sounds a little similar to my philosophy of, if rather than complain, come up with your alternative. Like, where is it that you want to go versus complain about what you don't like? You know what I mean? Talk about what you do like or what you hope for or what you want to see come out of whatever the situation is, versus just kind of dwelling on the parts that you can't change, like the stuff that you don't like about it. And that's, that goes into like the 12-step program and everything else. But yeah, you gotta try to focus on the positive that you can change or that you can affect, right? Like Bean with his injury, it sucks, but you at least have a plan forward, right? Like there's at least a path. Whether the path is rocky or not, that's kind of probably regardless. But that's kind of what that gave me help. So I've talked about my story before. In fact, our first episode of People in the Boxes was about PTSD, specifically having. Oh, there's tinnitus kicking in. All I hear is a beep right now. I never talk about that actually on the show. Oh, it's gone. Anyway, my first episode was about PTSD with first responders and military, because there's several different types of PTSD. So we decided to break it up and talk. We talked about domestic violence. We talked about postpartum depression on separate episodes. But this one was a way for us to start the show and me to kind of tell my story. But my whole point, I'll skip that. I'll let you guys go and watch it if you want. But the end is I became hopeful because I came up with a plan for myself. I have, and actually, to be truthful, I say it's a calling. I don't believe it came from my brain. I believe it was put there, and I believe I'm just going to be the one enacting it and following through. But that's a whole spiritual conversation on the other side of things. But my point is, having some plan or an idea of what you plan to do in the future gives you a lot of hope. It gives you something to like get behind. You can't get behind yourself. You can take care of yourself in order to get behind whatever it is that you're putting yourself into. So Ed, I don't know if that contradicts what you were saying, but what I mean is, you have to take care of yourself in order to get to that bigger calling, whatever that is. Family, business. Like if you're trying to make money, if you're trying to, whatever your goals are in life, you do have to take care of yourself first in order to get to those. And I think what I'm getting at is, when I thought all I had was myself, I didn't care enough to take care of that. You know what I mean? I didn't have goals in the future, so I was like, why do I need to take care of this thing if I don't have any of those things? So I guess that's an interesting kind of distinction there. So I like it though. Hey, what's up, G-Lo on X? You gonna come on and join the conversation? You're welcome. Oh, he's already got the link. What's up, Kelly? What's up, guys? Kristen, hello. And Mike, I think, was watching on Bean's channel. You guys are welcome to pop up if you want to. Nobody has to, but we want to hear from you guys. Tell us in the comments. He's got Health Ohana Wealth. Okay, I like it. My Hawaiian brother. Did you see any awesome fireworks displays, G-Lo? And while you're in here, let us know what you are hopeful for, what kind of goals you might have. And, of course, not giving us your secret sauce, Bean. But the goals, like my goal is to work more with the plants. I tend to put it off sometimes because they're growing. Like, what am I doing? Well, there's always something I could be doing more with those. So that's my biggest driver this year. Alex Jordan, what's up, man?
What's up, Alex?
Yes, man. You keep. You know what? Come up on my screen to promote this. You promoted it twice in my show already. You got to come up and grace us with your presence tonight. Come on, Alex. You can smoke while you're up here. Let's go.
Do any of you guys do a vision board?
No, and actually today I was thinking about getting a cork board or a what do you call it, a bulletin board, so that I could envision things more. Like, I was thinking of it more with paperwork that I had, like, either a list that I write or whatever. I could put them up and make them visible in a sort of order on the wall. So what do you explain what you're talking about, a vision board? Because I maybe don't know the total. I never made one in school. No.
I used to do
He said, all right, what's that?
a few years ago, and they're helpful because a lot of people are really visual. I'm a very goal-oriented person as it is, and I'll, set a goal and I'll chip away at it until, I'm satisfied. But the last 2 years have been so hard for me, and I've had so much transition and change and just like, I don't know. And so anyway, so I decided I was going to do a vision board because I've had a lot of changes just recently. And so I really need to visualize how I'm going to effectuate those changes. Well, how I'm going to deal with effectuating the changes that I've undergone, how I'm going to transform and stuff.
You know what that reminds me of is doing a budget, except for instead of monetarily, you're looking at your life and you're going, okay, this is everything going on. And this is what I might want to, like, it's almost like budgeting your life in a way.
In a way, but what you do is, like, a lot of the times people have a hard time visualizing themselves.
Right.
Visualizing themselves being successful or whatever. And so what you do with the vision board, and I'm going to do an electronic one because that's just the way life is now. But
yeah.
But I sat there, I've been sitting there and thinking about, like, what are my things that I want to accomplish. And I'm not a New Year's person. Anytime that you want to make change is a new year.
Right.
Today is the next 365 days. So New Year's stuff I'm not into that. But, like I bought a house and there's so much that needs to be done. And so, like, one of the things that I want to do is I want to build a patio off the back of my house, and I have no idea what that's going to look like. I've kind of, looked around at some stuff to get some ideas and whatnot, but that's one of the things that's going on my vision board is I want that done I want that done. Another one is I want to go back to church. I miss church. I don't particularly like the churches here very much. There's a couple of them that are all right, but I need to go back to church. It's good for me. So, the other thing that I need to do is I need to go back to the gym or something and start, getting in shape. So what I've been doing is I've been downloading pictures on my phone so that I can make a vision board so that I can keep myself straight with what my priorities are in my life right now.
Okay, I was wrong then. My bad. I don't know why.
Visualize what I want to look like or what I want to accomplish with that. So
it's a little. It's a little bit what I was imagining, but more so a reimagining of what you want versus what I thought was like take it. It's so like you could do it next to your budget. You could do like, okay, this is what's happening. All right, we got Alex Jordan with the Mythic Genetics in the house. What's up, man?
How's it going? There we go.
Good,
had to change up my volumes for a minute.
There you go.
It's getting cold, man.
Up. Oh, it looks like it. You're out in your garage.
It's going to get colder in here in about a week. It's going to get really cold. We're supposed to get down to 9 degrees. So a week from tomorrow.
We're getting it this weekend.
You're going to get it again. And let me tell you something. We don't get 9-degree weather. The coldest it generally gets here where I'm at is maybe 19. And it's supposed to be 9. And I'm like going, oh, shit.
We're supposed to get 4 to 12 inches of snow, supposedly. This weekend.
You guys don't
we're supposed to get snow prior to that 9-degree temp. But
Bean might get 50 degrees. Bean might see 50 degrees now. You guys, it's crazy.
It's freezing down here. It's got to be at least like, 70?
Yeah, that's his breath. That's his breath coming out of his mouth.
It is my breath. It is freezing today.
Florida.
So I sometimes watch the Florida news in the morning, I like to watch the Today Show. And I saw where they were, giving the temps for Florida. And I was like, holy crap, they're cold down there right now.
It's 48 here right now, but that looks colder than 48.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy.
That's a Florida 48.
It's a drastic change in temperature. Yeah, we talked about that in the desert in Iraq. It's 140 degrees in the daytime. If it's 90 degrees in the nighttime, it's cold. You're wearing a coat and shit. It's 90 degrees. What the heck? Like, that's the craziest.
Also, it's the humidity here too. Like,
okay.
Yeah, 45 feels like 25 with 100% humidity.
Yeah. You want to talk humidity? Midwest, man. That's
So Missouri, you guys are going to get hit with about like what we're getting hit with, because we're getting, like Lisa May said, we're going to have snow in the next few days. It's already probably another 3 inches outside right now.
Yep. Then from what I understand in Farmer's Almanac and all that, it's going to be a fairly mild winter after that.
That's what I was wondering. Everybody's worried about a harsher winter when we have a mild beginning. We might get through it pretty mild altogether. That's the hope, right?
I hope.
I hope too. Yes.
Farmer's Almanac and all that says it's not going to be that bad. And
what does the Farmer's Almanac say for my area?
I have no idea.
Give us the rundown, Alex. Actually, speaking of rundown, and it works into the conversation about hope and goals. Actually, when I said hope and goals, Red Six remembers this. You guys remember that song with John C. Reilly and
Boats and Hoes?
Yeah, Boats and Hoes. But instead tonight we're talking about hope and goals. So we're gonna make a new song. But no, you have an event coming up. Is this going to be your first event that you're main? Are you? I know you're partnering with somebody, but you're doing a very big part of it or whatever. Explain it. Yep. Let's hear it, man. You're so excited about it. I can see it by your promotion of it, man. Let's hear about it. I want to hear about it.
I'm hyped about it, man. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be the first one in this area. Well, I say in this area. There's 40 to 50 cannabis events in Missouri every weekend. But it'll be the first one in this general area within a 40-mile radius or so that isn't corporate cannabis, which is a very good thing. So you get a very different market and all that stuff of people. That, and I've been trying to reach out over to some folks on the Illinois side, because it's actually in Farmington, Missouri, and they just built that new Chester Bridge that leads over from Chester, Illinois, on over to Missouri. So you can get.
Is this the new bridge?
Yeah, there's a new bridge. The Chester Bridge comes over, and it's if you come over on the Chester Bridge from there, it's probably a 30-minute drive to the event.
Is it north? Is the bridge up north from the St. Louis Bridge?
Oh, it's south. It's down here.
Oh, that sucks.
It's just south of St. Genevieve.
All right. I thought maybe it was going to be easier for me to get there. What is it, Red Six? What is it, 3 hours to get to the border?
Three to the border, about 245. St. Louis is about 240, 245.
Okay. So looking at 3.5 to get there.
Yeah, it's Google Maps says 31.
That's just to St. Louis. This is probably another hour and 15 southwest.
Yeah. Google Maps says 3.5 hours from there, Wayne.
Okay. Well, so how long total? You're talking 3.5, you said, from here?
Yep.
Oh, when you said from there, I was like, from where? From my house. Yeah, I got you. The other thing, what month is February, right? February 15th or something like that?
February 15th. It's going to be Cupid's Canna Market. Going to have a bit of some of Missouri's best flower, in my opinion, will be there.
What kind of vendors and stuff? Is it a general vendor event, or is it really a super specific cannabis event?
No, there's going to be cannabis vendors, edible vendors, all that kind of thing. People with tinctures, salves, dabs, yada yada yada.
You'll be up on the stage doing fire twirling or whatever. Fire
No,
spinning. Have
no.
Alex up there. Is the belly shirt on? Just
No, this one's
Not if
this one's
it's
a little bit
cold.
more cozy. There's no stage or anything going on. It's
oh no.
we're gonna have there's no, unfortunately, no smoking indoor, but we do have a it's like it'll be a large tented area outside that's heated and all that stuff, with some tables and whatnot in there for consumption. So we'll make sure there's a warm area for all of that. But yeah, man, it'll be I think we're open from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. is the goal there, and come by, hang out. We got people doing some vending, some people coming in from out of town. We're releasing the vendor flyer, or the first vendor flyer, tomorrow, which will be awesome. So that'll definitely pique some interest because we have.
Oh, I know a hack, bro. I know a hack. I'm gonna donate like a Chillum or like a cheap glass bowl, and you can put my logo on the flyer, send it around everywhere, tell everyone I'm one of the sponsors. I know someone that did that. We're not gonna get into it, but it was funny.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's gonna be a good
Kristen
time.
says, hey, Alex. Yeah,
What's
definitely gonna be. Kristen says, hey, Alex.
Hey, how's it going?
We got.
It's gonna be a good day. But yeah, I'm excited about it. It's, I'm co-hosting this one. Pretty much a buddy of mine with Three Buds Productions. They do a lot of events here in Missouri. So co-hosting with him, and then got another event coming up that I'm planning with Mike and Misfit Island crew. We're gonna be doing one down here in St. Genevieve, Missouri, in May. So it'll be May 31st. We'll be doing that one.
I have a childhood friend that I haven't talked to in, I don't know, years, who I for some reason, one of those things never going to leave my mind, that it's his birthday is on March 31st.
There you go.
Like one of those, like your childhood phone number, like, I don't know, for some reason, it's one of those things that is stuck in my head. Anyway, side note. So that's a pretty hopeful thing, man. I like that you came up for this episode, because I want to see, things happening. I want to see people making, moves forward, whatever that looks like, a pinky toe, or, making strides,
It's going to be a big year, man. Like, I'm starting to do some events this year. I got 2 planned, this one and then the one with Misfit Island. I plan on doing the 3rd one this year. It's completely unscheduled. I haven't even thought about it yet, but it would be later in the year, probably.
I'm thinking about doing one too. I'm going to more events with old Red 6 there in a local shop that we have nearby, and it's been fun. But I'm also thinking I need to set up an indoor farmer event sometime. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we definitely need to get you down for the Misfit Island one, May 31st, and especially assuming we have internet and all that. Probably give you a booth and let you stream from it and all that stuff.
And is that going to be closer or farther away to the border? Closer. I guess
close. Okay. It'll save you 30 minutes.
Taking over the world. Thanks, Chris. Drizzle Dab, Kelly. Yeah, Drizzle Dab probably get in on some of those. I'm not sure why you're saying Drizzle Dab, but yeah, Claire's a good guy. Do you know Claire from Drizzle Dab?
Me, I don't know that I do.
He gets around to like a lot of big events too. He does expos and things like that for his business. But yeah, one thing I want to get people to, and maybe everybody could plan ahead, but a kayaking trip we do every year. It's called the Token Float. It's done for MS. All the proceeds go to MS, and it's really a fun time, man. It's not an event like any other because there's no booths, there's nobody vending. You got people with backpacks, maybe making trades with each other or something like that. But you're on a river as you're doing that. You might see one guy pull up a little small charcoal grill all of a sudden on this embankment, and then everyone's just chilling around this corner at like a little sandbar, and It's a pretty cool trip. I never kayaked until I started going on this. Now this is my second year, so I can't wait for this one. This year will be our probably the best one yet. I got really, really mad this last one. What's up, Red Six? You're gonna go with me
on the Mackinac?
On the Mackinac, yeah.
Why did you get mad?
Oh my God, you guys! I was pissed right in the beginning. I got my kayak in there. Okay, well, it's a little longer story. Hit that like button, guys. Like and subscribe. So the story is the year before that, the first year I went, the place that Drizzle Dab rents the kayaks from and has everybody meet there. That place would like shuttle the kayakers to the river and everything. It has rental. Sounds like a great thing, but the guy that I don't know if he owns it or was the manager was shuttling us in the bus was hammered. And every time he'd come back, it'd be like a pit stop where somebody would bring him out another drink. Every time he'd get back to the bar. And the guy he would get flying like 60 miles an hour down these back roads with these big hills, literally getting air in a bus full of people. And some people thought it was funny, but those are people probably already drinking too. And but a lot of us were just like, that's not going to fly next time. And so he went with a different crew. He went a different route the second time where no one had to use that guy. Well, I did not have my own kayak, so I still had to go there and rent a kayak. The guy knew where I was going, so I think he gave me this shitty kayak. But let's just take that out of the equation for now and say the kayak was very, very tipsy the entire trip. I was like not able to keep that thing, and I did it the year before on a different kayak, and it seemed very much more stable. They're different, like they have different designs. They're all beat up in rentals. You know what I'm saying?
Did it sit on?
Huh?
Did you?
No, it wasn't a top one. Yeah, I did. Actually, no. This one was kind of a hybrid. I had like a groove for your legs and everything. Like you got into it, but there was nothing covering your legs. Versus the one you're thinking of, that's just a flat surface. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
that's more like some kind of board.
Yeah, that would be more like. But they make flat kayaks,
and they have sit-in kayaks.
Okay, well, this one was not. I didn't have to get down inside of it, but that I did the first time, and I didn't mind it. But the second time, man, literally, I tipped it 2 or 3 times through the whole thing. But what really pissed me off was not even 5 minutes into the trip. I just gotten into the water, and I was so close to where we started. I had hit this like big log that caused like a little bit of a current on one side, and my whole kayak flipped sideways, tipped over. There goes my cooler, my bag. I grabbed my bag and keep it out of the water. The water was up to my freaking just under my chest, and I'm holding my bag. I put it up on this log. All of my waters come out of the kayak and go floating down all the ice that was in there. And I was like, "Oh, get the ice." Just kidding, but like, grab all the ice. Oh, you couldn't grab the ice. Like people were helping me grab the stuff as it was floating down the river. It was just so. I looked back at like where we started from, and I'm like, I could just walk right back over there. Like I could just get right back out of here and leave, you know. But I toughed it out. Kelly went to it. Yeah, the front was too messed up. What am I missing that? It is awesome. Okay, so yeah, you went to it. That would be awesome. Brandy, yeah, you got to come to this. You, Kelly, we need to get together. Yeah, you were in a tube or something like that. Wasn't that you? I like to tube it. Yeah, people will do tubes and like tie them together and have this like chain. And the one guy in the front's got a kayak and he's paddling. It's an experience, that's for sure. No, I didn't drink any rum. Why is all the rum gone? Yeah, no, I didn't drink any rum, Chris, but I did smoke a little bit. It's a fun trip when you get going. But I think I'm going to buy my own kayak this year. That's my goal. It's not that expensive. You can buy a brand new kayak for like $100.
You need to get you a pontoon.
No, the first time I had a good kayak, I was cruising. The first time I was like exercising. I was going backwards up the river to like say hi to other friends and then go back forward, cruising as fast as I could go. And
You think you would like a canoe better?
I would have. You'd have to have 2 people in the canoe, wouldn't you?
Generally,
But like a guy in the front steers mostly.
it's easier to get to.
I have a buddy that used to run a canoe by himself. So
Small canoe.
Dude. He's a pretty strong dude, but
like a half-size canoe that looks like a short bus.
The canoes, you just go really slow. You know, I mean, he didn't try to go fast. He would just float and basically steer out of trouble is all he did.
I see.
What's up, nobody?
What's up, nobody? I actually had an experience when I was 14. If you guys want to, if you don't know what that looks like, it's a little bit like this. Hey, what's up, ladies? I like doing this whenever.
You had that much hair at 14?
Yeah, man. What's up? I was a freshman. I was still learning what a razor was. I was probably like, I don't know, maybe 17 here. I'm not 100% sure, but it was close. It was close, somewhere in there. But yeah, we went on this whitewater rafting trip. It was a week-long trip that I earned from being a newspaper boy. I was a paper boy. And the district manager, gave a bunch of people, or all these district managers picked like their best carrier or whatever it was, and they all got a trip. And we got like these 2 charter bus loads of kids, went to North Carolina for a week. Nothing could go wrong there. And we had some fun, but there was this whitewater rafting trip where it was like, what was it? I can't even remember. It was like 6 people per raft plus the guide. And the guide is up front. It was a woman, and we're going down the rapids. We hit this rock. The guide flies out of the boat. This like a aired up raft. She flies out. We were able to get her back in eventually, but that was intense, because these are rapids. Just like probably wasn't the worst rapids in the world, but they were much worse than the Mackinac River. I'll tell you that. The river does have some areas though that's crazy.
Yeah, the Mackinac does. It's crazy when people try to go out there when it's flooded. Like you're asking the ground going out there when the water's up.
Yeah. I got to be honest though, it's really annoying when there's a dry area where it's so low that you end up scooting on the bottom too.
Yeah, it depends on what sections you do if you're going to hit and bottom out.
Yeah, that's why he's going to move to a different section next year, I believe. That's what or this year. That's the hope.
The problem is having
what happened to Bean
and get out points. I was wondering too.
First, I thought you were rolling a joint. Yeah, Kim's rolling a joint up there. She's got it. Chris.
About 3 or 4 years in a row, we used to go out there on January 1st. Just to go.
January
1st.
No thanks.
Yeah.
You had like a wetsuit on or what?
No, you had to line the bottom of your boat with like a real thick blanket because the water's so cold. You know what I mean? As long as it wasn't frozen, you could still do it, but the water's still cold.
What if you got tipped? Was it a kayak?
Yeah, actually. So what you were describing earlier, how you got pinned up against the log sideways.
Oh, it's going down there. There was a log in front of me, and it went like.
So that
like turned sideways.
I got pinned sideways against the log one day, and it filled my kayak up, spit me under. You know what I mean?
You guys should go whitewater rafting.
You had to
that's what I just said. I was just talking about that.
Fire, you know what I mean?
You missed the story about the guide flying out of the boat.
I didn't realize you were talking about whitewater rafting. I thought you were still talking about your foray last year.
What you heard was wah 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 wah.
Well, you guys are talking about freaking kayaking and stuff. It's like
what's wrong with kayaking?
Nothing, but it all blends. It's like all the same thing to me.
Same thing as what? What was the other? Well, never mind.
Well, so you started out by saying, you had this really terrible experience last year, and then you went to
whitewater rafting.
Then you went to the year before, and then you jumped back to all the shit that you went through this last time, and then it's like, and then
I was explaining why
you got into talking about canoeing, and it's like, oh.
And you're the only one not smoking up here. Well, maybe I'm sure Ed is clear-headed over there, but you did ask me why I got so mad, and I was like, well, let me explain. Because last year, the year before that, wasn't nearly as bad as this year, and I think that guy that was drunk the first time, I think he gave me the shitty kayak because he didn't like that we didn't go to use him this time or whatever. I think I was set up that second time. I was set up.
It's all a conspiracy.
Well, he did talk to me for a minute. Oh yeah, you're with those other guys. Oh yeah, the guy. Oh okay. Yeah, here, take this one. Like old Bertha, the one that's got a hole in it or something. Right?
I don't know, but you guys are just talking about water stuff, and it's like it's all kind of like
You don't have no water where you're at, do you?
Oh, fuck you. Yes, we do.
Desert over there. She's like, we got cactuses and tumbleweeds.
We have a river.
Do you actually have sand though? Is there actually sand?
What do you mean?
Is there a deserty sand anywhere nearby?
We do have sand dunes.
Yeah, fucking sand dunes?
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Yeah, there's sand. We have a lot of our soil here in my area, at least, is clay. But there's a lot of rocky soil. I don't know. We've got some pretty harsh terrain here, but we have a river that runs all the way down from Colorado all the way down to it empties out into the Gulf.
Oh, I've heard about that book. I think it's A River Runs Through It by I.P. Freely.
Yeah, that river is up in like Montana or something. And they fly fish. No, the river that we have is the Rio Grande.
Oh, the I.P. Freely is the one that wrote the book about that river running through it.
He feels what?
What's up, Gabrielle? He wrote that book, A River Runs Through It.
But he feels what?
No, his name is I.P. Freely.
Oh, Freely. I thought you said Feely.
Yep, right over the head. Yeah, that's an old one. We used to call, like, what was the other one? 30 Days on a Saddle by Colonel Blue Balls. I remember that one.
Yeah.
There's another one.
You know what? I remember when I was like a teenager and we went to this museum somewhere around here and it had a bunch of like Old West memorabilia stuff, like from like the 1800s or something. And I remember there was a saddle. There were actually two saddles in there. And I had never seen saddles like that. And I was raised around horses. So I've seen a variety of different saddles. And so anyway, in the saddle, somewhere around where the horn is, there was a hole. And it was so you could pee while you were riding.
Nice.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I mean, I could see where back in those days where, you know, that would be something you'd want to do because
you just piss down the side of the horse?
Down the horse's back.
Freedom, and you say freedom while you do it.
It's a show of dominance, right?
But can you imagine that poor horse?
Yeah, definitely.
And can you imagine how it smelled? Ugh.
Well, you know,
Probably about like a horse.
No.
Horses fucking stink.
Yeah,
Well, they
true.
can.
Although, is that because we keep them in pins, maybe? I wonder, or is that because they just will lay down on the ground, you know?
What?
I don't know if your audio's getting wonky or if it's on.
Static you again, Waylon.
You're crackling.
What is it, code 2?
All right, let me put some music.
Yeah, this is for my green thumbs in the game. Wailing the indoor farmer. Check my name. Sustainability. We about to reclaim.
Let's do a little dab. I'm gonna do a spin. on the number wheel.
How far were you into the show last night? Started static.
I don't know, man, but it's very annoying.
Seems like it's about the same point.
Yeah, but I switched mics even last night, and it's still staticky, so it's not like a battery being low or anything.
It might
Does
be
it sound better
it
now?
might be your setting in
You're good now.
StreamYard.
Well, touche. I did look at that. Let me see. Maybe I can cut out the echo cancellation for a minute. Automatically adjust audio. How about that? Do I sound okay? What's up, Ted? You're welcome up here, my friend.
Hey, Ted.
Come up. I mean, my talk text horrible. But yeah, come
You're
on up.
quieter
Chris.
now.
You don't want to like.
We got a Ted in here.
We got a Tedibles. Let's play Tedibles in the house.
Tedibles will be presented at the show on February 15th.
Have you heard the song yet, Alex?
I don't think so.
You haven't heard of the Tedibles? Let's hear it. This is in the genre requested by Ted. Turn up just a hair, and I'm going to do a little dabaroo here. It's about 7:10 on the west coast here in 2 minutes.
We can barely hear you, Waylon.
Yeah, turn yourself up, man.
Testing.
You're still very low.
Get something locked out with your audio.
Testing. Hello.
I mean, we can hear you. It's just lower than it was a couple minutes ago by a margin.
I can go all the way up, but that seems too high.
That's better now.
That's all the way up to 200%.
Yep, something got wonky, but it's better now.
Chris is asking about your number.
It's always, man. I can name about 10 different things that are causing me technical difficulties in the last 2 days. My bank, multiple websites, devices, Facebook. I can't. There's a whole list of them. It's crazy. What's Chris saying? What's the number wheel? This is for subscribers, Chris. This is our weekly number wheel. We're going to do another wheel though for you guys in the audience. We call it the door prize. If you haven't hit that like button, do so. Share us out. And you do get one additional chance to win if you are on the locals, not locals, but on Rumble or X, which are both free. And that's for a game night ticket. So I think I said it all. There we go. We're gonna do this spin here. I didn't add anybody though. Got 19 names this week. Yet you did tell me about that, Chris. Cheers.
Ted coming up?
I don't know. He might. I don't think he said yes or no, but I don't want to force him to.
I'll pull his on. Come on, Ted.
Chris, I understand that, man, but that's why I have subscriptions open on Facebook for people that don't want to or that can't navigate locals, which you're not the only one, man. Many people have had similar issues with it. What's up, Ted? Cheers, brother.
What's up, y'all? Cheers.
Yeah.
Going on, Ted.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Here, we're gonna play the female. Actually, no. Before we play another version, what do I sound like with no music playing?
You're fine now.
Clear.
You're fine.
You're good.
Temporarily, anyway. We'll see how it goes. All right. I'm being hopeful, though. Let's hope that it works out. It was a fairly cheaper microphone. I got to be honest. I wasn't looking for a cheap microphone, but I wanted to buy this kind. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's in my beard.
Is it clipped to your beard?
It's inside my beard.
Right on.
can't even tell. I couldn't even tell until I remembered. Oh yeah, it's inside there. It's probably
Alex,
red.
did you trim your beard?
What's that?
Did you trim your beard?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it looks like, well, I haven't seen you in a minute, but it looks
It
like
seems like you keep a good shape.
It's
Keep
been
in
a
good
minute.
shape.
No, it just, believe it or not, I don't really trim it that much because it just grows in all white trashy on its own like this. It doesn't grow up here or over here. It doesn't
That's why I shaved mine.
Yeah, I trim mine ever so often too, you know. Oh my God. So
I knew it.
my 18-year-old cat died on the 18th of December.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I loved that cat. She was special. And so I still have my other 3 cats, and I love them too, but they're not like she was. She was a different cat. So
18's a long time.
yeah, I was sad. I knew it was coming, and it was hard. But
18 years was long.
yeah, she chose me. Like,
Oh, I think all animals choose their owners.
no, she chose me. So I worked at this little school in this really rural part of the Bay Area when I lived in Sacramento. And I got down from my car to go to work, and I was walking through the parking lot, and she's about a 4-month-old kitten, ran up to me, flopped over on her back in the parking lot. Okay. And so I was like, oh, nice kitty, whatever. One of the teachers that I work with, she walks up. Mina wouldn't have anything to do with her, like got up and ran away. But Mina followed me all over school, so I ended up taking her home with me. And she chose me. Like, she chose me, dude. So anyway, a lot of 18 years, just a lot of stuff happened. And I called her my Velcro cat, because she would attach herself to me. I'd be sitting somewhere and she would, drape over, sneak over and drape down my shoulder and get in my face. And
I just imagine all 4 claws.
No, she didn't use her claws. She didn't use her claws. So anyway,
I had a couple cats.
I pay attention to, like, the local animal shelter has a Facebook page where they, like, the animals that are impounded there, they put them on that page to try and reunite, with families and stuff. And so somebody had surrendered this little kitty cat, and very shy cat, very scared cat, and those are the kind of cats that get euthanized. So I went to the shelter today, and she's not the cat is not a Velcro cat. But I'm thinking I'm going to foster it for a while and see if maybe I can work her into my cat hold here.
How many cats do you have?
I have 3 right now, but I'm down a cat.
Cat. Kim, have you heard? Now, I guess I want to find out if these 2 boys down here have more than 1 cat, because
Nope.
Alex does, because I've seen.
Oh, go ahead. He's got more than 2.
I've seen
you
it.
got like 6.
I got 2.
There's a well, I don't know if it's a disease or like a parasite, but cats can carry it in their feces, and there's something that it emits that makes the person want to be around more cats. Have you heard of this phenomenon? This is where the crazy cat lady phenomenon comes from, and it literally can kill you because you continually get more and more cats, and I forget the reason that kills you. Is it like actually medical inside, or if it's just because you're around too many cats? I'd have to look it up, but that's pretty intense that it's a real thing. Lisa May, what are you doing down there? Come on up. Illinois Bud Lovers, come on up.
Well, I joke that I have the crazy cat lady starter pack. But I will not have too many cats because I just can't afford to take care of them.
2 cats and a dog.
I'm down to 1 cat out of 9.
Huh?
Well,
Maybe
these 2 cats are outdoor cats mainly. They just come in here when they hear me come out here to the garage.
Ted, you must have been taking ivermectin or something, man. You got rid of whatever it was, and now you're back down to 1 cat.
Oh yeah, ivermectin works wonders.
Took away your cat virus or whatever. Like, no, but that is a thing. I heard about it recently. I'd love to look into it some more, but
I've always had 2 cats for the most part, because I don't know, I'm just
Bless
2
you.
cats is a good number, but I ended up with 4. The last 2 that I had come in because they showed up at my door, and I don't know, I'm a sucker, and I took them in. But well, I didn't mean to take them in. I was gonna foster them, and the one cat he has diabetes, so nobody will adopt him.
oh,
And then
no.
the other one, he was just so dang cute, I couldn't get rid of him. So
Yes.
I have an opening for a cat. So I think I'm gonna foster this cat. And
You could
see if
talk
I
to
can-
Professor Lee.
Huh?
Maybe you could adopt him.
Who?
The professor?
Professor.
Yeah, he always says meow meow
Meow meow.
meow meow.
No lie, no lie. Meow
No
meow.
lie, no lie. Yeah, never mind. My bad. Hey, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a very special exception tonight for both Chris and for Ted, whom I know is subscribed. And Chris, if you decide to go over to the Facebook, that's up to you. But right now, tonight, I'm giving Chris number 20 and Ted is number 21 on this wheel. And if you are subscribed, guys, definitely look into that. Every week we have a post that I put up in 3 different places. So it takes effort to do that. And I make the post on my Facebook side and on my local side for any subscribers to just comment, like the post, and you get a number. We do a spin 3 times a week. Hey, what's up, Leaf Cycle? Going to come up and grace us with your presence.
What do they get for winning?
Say again, Alex.
What do they get for winning?
They get an Indoor Farmer coupon, which is, hey, we got Elisa May in the house. What's up, Elisa May?
What's up?
Just explaining the Indoor Farmer coupon, which is, it gives you the choice, and there will be more choices coming up, but right now you get 3 different options. You can choose a swag pack as swag supplies last, and the other option is a game night ticket. The third option is and no one's picked this in a little while. I haven't done a spin on my Indoor Farmer hats in a couple months. We're going to do a couple spins coming up soon. So if you guys tell me you would like an additional chance to win an Indoor Farmer hat box, that is your third option there. You can basically get another ticket on that wheel when we do a spin.
I'm all excited. I got
Let's hear it.
I like to do ceramics. I haven't done ceramics in a long time, but I like to do ceramics, like make things like for, I don't know, work with clay and stuff. And so I had seen these wake and bake molds or wake and bake cups, and I thought, ooh, I want to make a cup like that because it's got like a pipe and it's a coffee cup, right? So I found a mold, and the mold came in today.
Right
So I'm
on.
excited.
Lucky number 2.
Number 2. Who does number 2 work for? Oh, sorry.
Number 2.
That's it, buddy. You show that to who's boss.
Yeah,
Static's back.
it's been so long since I've watched those movies.
I'll never forget that line. That whole
Your static's
scene.
back.
Yeah, you get static.
Static's back.
Oh yeah.
Who does number 2 work for?
Yep. 2025 is going to be a big
All
one.
right. How do I sound now?
You sound great.
I have fire crackling in the background because instead of me crackling, now we've got some fireplace crackling.
There you go.
Looks like that would be Jess. Jess Rosebuds is today's winner. I'm actually going to spin it one more time. I didn't spin it 3 times this week yet, so I'm going to say you won.
Congratulations, Jess.
You are allowed to tag her in the comments, anybody that wants to do so. We're going to go ahead and spin it one more time. And then we're going to get the people, everybody who's hit that like button tonight is on a wheel for the door prize of a game night ticket. The game night ticket, it will automatically put you in the game night without you having to show up or be there. But if you're not a subscriber, I would suggest to come and check it out. You can win things such as, hit that mute button, Ted, if you could, buddy.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, that was Alex. Okay, you could win. I was just about to promote Mythic Genetics as you coughed over. Like I was going to say, you can win such things as the fabulous Mythic Genetics every week. And I tell you what, man, I do appreciate that. If you ever want to get with me, that's why I'm telling you to come up and promote your event. Let me know if you ever want to do something sort of more specific. Any of my sponsors, really, if you want me to help you out with a promotion of some kind.
I think we're gonna have to force you down here for the that May event on May 31st and have you stream live from the event for the day.
Hey, that's why I leased a brand new vehicle and I paid for the additional mileage package because I wanted to get out of town, all the way out of town. Number 15. Let's see who that was real quick. But yeah, Leaf Cycle is actually making a new video for game night. And so that reminds me to remind you, throw your website in there. Make sure it's a little more emotional, but it's a good one. I've been playing for a long time, but it's always good to get it like an update, you know.
Absolutely.
It was 15. Let me refresh the screen here.
Hey,
Oh, it
Alex,
might be
the other day on my video when you said something about my auger going the wrong way.
Was I right?
Yeah, you were right.
Okay, I thought so.
Oh snap! I got some additions to make.
I'm glad I caught that though.
Yeah, but still, there's places in that ground that are like really, really dense and it won't go anywhere.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that soil is a pain in the keister.
Yep. I'm mainly clay and rock here too, so you can't. There's certain spots that you just give up on and move down a few feet.
I was going to say, I really hope Rasta doesn't have to drive down that hill.
No,
it starts snowing heavy.
No, he'd park up top. But I mean, he's in the hotel still right now.
Okay.
All right, real quick, guys. I am sorry. It looks like there were people that were. I didn't hit the refresh button, and people did want to get added to this. So I'm going to do it one extra spin. So I'm going to do 4 spins this week just for that. I just gave Brandra Breiler number 22. Got Sean Cook with number 23. And I think there's a couple more. We've got Rose with number 24. Rose, I didn't give you a number already? Let's see. Guys, please only comment once. There's several people that have, so just anybody that does, please don't do that. Okay, Rose, you are number 24. Did I say 20? Yes, 24. And we got Joe Orzel, I think, is our last one at 25. Almost gave Rose 25 as I was saying it. All right. Yes, Joe Orzel at number 25. Remember, I gave Chris number 20, 20, and Ted is number 21.
Thank you, sir.
So let me fix that. But 15, who did I say 15 was? It's on Facebook, so I got to go over there. I think 15. Oh, Gabriella's 18.
Kim Marston.
Kim is 15. Okay. I see that. Kim.
Marston.
Yes. So we got Jess was number 2. Jess.
Kim was
And then
number
number
2.
15. Kim Marston. All right. One more spin, but let me correct it this time. So was it 22, 23, 24, 25? So let me ask you guys a question I was posing last night to the audience, since I got people here on screen that can answer. Well, Red Six was here already, and he answered a little bit last night. But what do you think you're going to grow this year, specifically plant-wise? Tonight is a little bit more about what are we going to do as far as growing ourselves in general. But we talked about, like, are you going to try to grow anything new? Are you going to try to grow anything in a new way, a new technique, new genetics? What is it? So Kim, I know you got a new place. So you have any like new ideas of growing, or is it basically the same kind of environment that you had?
I'm not really sure because I'm having to condition my soil because I have such poor soil. It's really hard clay. So, as far as like cannabis, I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be able to condition my soil enough to do living soil and plant in ground, or if I'm gonna have to grow in grow bags again this year. So, but I have been like, I don't know, like, I grow things other than cannabis. So,
That's what I mean. It doesn't have to be cannabis related, but um, I want to see more cannabis growers growing something that's not cannabis, just to kind of broaden your mind a little bit. Red Six has his own garden. He said he's going to try to make that a little better this year. It's like really hone it. Alex, you grow anything besides cannabis? I probably asked you that before, I'm sure.
Yes, and not currently at the moment. So
Hey,
it's a
go out.
double-sided there. At the old house before we moved here, I had a garden out back that was everything in it was edible. And the goal here at the new place, I say new, but it's been a few years now, but is to get my backyard to a point with, different fruit trees and strawberries, blueberries, or just name it. If it's edible, I'm probably going to end up planting it somewhere.
Permaculture, man.
I want it to
Permaculture.
be,
There you
my
go.
idea behind it is that me and my family could go out there for one meal a day and just walk through the garden, and that would be our meal for the day.
Interesting. Walk through, eat while you're walking. Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
like
that would be
that.
one of our meals a day would be just a walk through the garden. That's my idea for it, at least. To have enough selection there and all that. I also want to open that up to, like, I'll have signs and posts on the area Facebook, because I'll be growing way more than I need. Just come, like, take what you need kind of thing.
Country
yeah,
boy,
there's
what's
some
up, man?
countries that do that kind of stuff. Everybody has like a garden in their yard or whatever, and they put out like on their fence, they put out like baskets of whatever they have left over from their harvest to share with their neighbors and stuff. I really like that idea.
That's
We have
pretty
something
much what
called
I'll be,
crop sharing.
pretty much what I'll be doing is putting stuff out and just leaving a sign up and posting it saying take what you need or what you'll use and go from there.
Yeah, I always grow stuff. I grow, like, one year I grew jalapenos, and I don't eat those. I eat green chili, but I don't like jalapenos. And I grew them. And one year I grew okra, and I don't really eat okra either. But I have friends that do, so I just, I give it away to my friends.
Yep,
But I'm
I got a
excited.
couple of people wanting me to grow a couple kinds of hops and stuff because they like do small batch homebrew beer, that kind of stuff. so I might end up doing some of that. But
Is that like a grass, hops?
no, hops is like a very, very close relative to cannabis.
Yes, it is.
I've heard that. I've heard sativa is not sativa, salvia.
A lot of the same terpene
Salvia.
profiles. A lot of the terpene profiles carry over to different flavors and hops.
I've heard that salvia and sage are cousins, and the whole story of like the Catholic Church where they swing that ball with the smoke, like it's smoking. That's supposed to be sage, right?
Used to be salvia.
But it used to be salvia. But sage also, to that extent, can put you in this sort of relaxed state, sort of ready to learn, ready to be open to what you're being told. Not to be too conspiratorial, but it does sound interesting. Elisa May, we're not going to let you be up here the whole time, not speak. What's up? Happy New Year's.
What's up?
I said it. Why did I say it? Happy New Year, not Happy New Year's. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know. We probably grow some different cannabis strains this year. Different flowers outside. I wasn't lucky with the blue sunflowers last year, so I might try something different. We don't need a lot of vegetables, so.
You just put out a box. Yeah, you don't do a lot of vegetables.
Mm-mm.
You don't
We
eat
have a
that.
bakery. I tried it last year, but I wasn't a big fan.
The flowers are interesting, though. I've actually looked into this about edible flowers. There's a whole array of edible flowers. It's interesting. Now, some flowers you got to be careful what parts of it you eat, even which is interesting. Like, I don't know, rutabaga. Joe's grown some rutabaga in the past, like turnip, much like turnip. Just toss it.
Also, fucking looking forward to the drop coming up and growing my company. And
when's your next drop?
We're looking about 6-7 months.
What are you growing this year or this season or this grow or
whatever? For what's coming up for Mythic Genetics is I haven't released all of the what's gone into it yet, but ones I have released, or at least information on, is a frostbolt crossed with a banana cooler. Terpenes on that I'm expecting to be pretty insane. But there's still a lot of testing and everything to do in the current to make sure everything kind of checks all my boxes before I put my name on it.
You were gonna do any autos?
No. There's a small chance that I've been considering it doing just one auto, and I know that sounds weird to just do one, but the pheno hunting and inability to clone and all that kind of stuff makes auto breeding a bit more wasteful, in my opinion. And what I mean by that is you want to make sure that your male plant pollinates the right female plant. You don't know which one that's going to be out of an auto, and you can't clone them all to be sure, so you need to pollinate a whole room of them and hope that pheno comes along that you're looking for to be pollinated by it. Okay, what do you do with all the other pollinated plants? Like, there's just so much waste and all that involved that, I mean, granted, yeah, it goes into edibles and all that, but you got to take all your time and seed the shit.
Well, okay. Let me play this in from a different perspective. Then let me ask you: Wouldn't the rest of those plants produce seeds, just not the pheno you're looking for?
Right.
So, yeah, you're looking for a certain one, but you could have. Everybody's got their A and B and C level products, right? You want your top notch, and then maybe you could sell it for less, call them something else, whatever. I don't mean anything nefarious about that, but.
There's that, but I mean, I've been trying to trying to build my company on everything being solid tested. You're not going to have any problems.
Right. Yeah, autos sure.
That's why there's a year to a year and a half between my drops, or sometimes even more. is because of the amount of testing and everything and proper pheno hunting and all that stuff that I do. I take my time
Yeah.
because I want it to be a career, not a flash in the pan. So
Right. Take your time. Make sure it's
all that time and grow something, and then it not be what you're looking for.
right.
I get that with the autos though. Like basically, the only thing that you're avoiding by using autos is like turning your light from one cycle to the other. Like that's literally the like. What else? What else is the advantage that other than you can just leave your light at the same same.
The advantage, and I do get it. People who have small areas to grow in, I get it. Also, people who don't have the most stable environments, and by that I mean people who have light leaks and all that kind of stuff that would harm a photo. That's probably not going to affect an auto, especially if you just leave the lights on 24 hours a day. Then it's not going to be an issue at all.
Okay, touche. Touche.
But you know, it's one of those things. So it does have its place, but I do think that people should, once they have their environment stable and they know they don't have light leaks, that kind of stuff, get into photos. I'm not saying abandon autos altogether. You can plant them both at the same time, and once the auto's done flowering, flip your flight schedule and flower out the photo. You know,
one of the things that's good about autos, and I don't grow autos, I'm not an auto person myself at all, but one of the good things about autos for some people is that, you know, you can basically grow year round without, you know, going through all the rigmarole that you have to go through with photos.
I mean, indoor I can grow year round.
You can get a little bit of personal smoke real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because the turnaround time of the plant is so.
Yeah, and then there's also an argument of a lot of people that if you want to grow an auto, well, then just throw a photo seed from seed sprout into 1212. It'll grow like an auto does and have better quality to it generally.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not I'm not an auto person at all. And I don't particularly like FEMs either. So.
Yeah, I prefer regs myself, don't get me wrong. FEMs are the vast majority of the market because the vast majority of places have strict plant counts.
Yeah.
I get it. But I mean, there's easy ways and cheap ways to sex your plants early without sending it off to a lab or any of that. How I sex all my plants, if I'm only looking for females or only looking for a new male or whatever it may be, I'll just leave them in solo cups for about a week and a half longer than you should. The plants are going to start looking a little rough. It's going to start eating its own bottom leaves, which is fine because you're going to be tearing those off when you defoliate anyway. But it's going to stress it just enough to show sex. So it's either going to pop some pixels out, something. If it doesn't have what you're looking for, get rid of it.
Yeah. I'm really good at spotting. I can tell pretty early on just by eyeballing it because the plant structure is different for males and females.
It can be, but you can't necessarily rely on that. Pre-flowers from a male look, and it's hard to explain it. It looks kind of like a crab claw.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Well, I mean, I can just tell by looking at the plant because the plant itself looks different. The male plant looks different than the female plant.
They got banana balls.
Yeah, some of them do, but that's not 100% by any means. Because there's generally the males are a bit more vigorous of plants.
They grow bigger, quicker.
Yeah, generally. But it's not necessarily 100%.
Yeah.
All right, guys. If you haven't hit that like button, that's what the wheel here is for. Maybe I'll refresh this. Let me refresh this one time. I'm not sure I'm seeing them all. 28 likes. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. We'll do one more dab here before I take everybody from that list. X is hard to get into while I'm live. It's crazy. So many little things. I don't know. Like I feel like the internet is being hacked by AI right now, and we're all just losing our connectivity. But if it was one or two things, I wouldn't think anything of it. But it's like half a dozen things now. Everything electronic that I try to affect, it's been like something.
Aliens.
You do realize that we had another big solar flare, and that affects shit.
Oh, that could do it on a lot of things. Yeah.
No, but seriously, we
Thanks,
just had another
Gabrielle.
big solar flare. So
Aliens, man. Aliens.
Country boy, you're welcome to come up, man, if you want. Yeah, aliens. They said that's one big thing. I reviewed a little bit of 2024, and that's one thing I could remember about 2024 was that they kept us distracted every time that something else big happened, and then they would leak a story about aliens.
Yep.
From that, it's just crazy. So everybody on the wheel at the moment is from X and Rumble. That's all I could see there so far. So I'm going to run with it. There we go. Yeah, join my group on X if you guys aren't over there yet. Go check it out. It's free. I have a group already. They call them communities. Gives you at least a place to share things, and we can all get things going.
Just on the Twitter.
On the some people call it Twix.
Twitch.
I think it's,
Twitch.
No, it's X and Twitch.
I used to stream on Twitch.
Or not Twitch, but X and Twitter. I'm sorry. Twix is what they call it, but I don't know. That does sound more like Twitch, but yeah, X is now a pretty interesting platform for me because I've met lots of people there and kind of start to have an idea of different circles I can travel in.
which one?
On X.
Oh, on X. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. If you want to see real news, like honestly, the most real news I find versus from Facebook to X is definitely on X. Like the to the minute, like reporting from people happening, like places. It's crazy.
Oh, for like real time stuff, yeah.
Yeah, like.
I was saying that ain't reliable for news.
They're more reliable than mainstream news for like finding out what really happened to things. Right. So and I can tell you from comparing them both, Facebook will hear about a rumor that is like some kind of viral moment, some kind of like uproar, days after you see it on X.
Yeah.
And then by the time I see people bitching about it on Facebook and arguing about it, I'm starting to see the secondary information coming out, like, oh, here's what really happened, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Over on X. It's crazy. It's definitely anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm sure it depends on what you're following, but all right, I gave you guys some time.
It spreads like wildfire no matter where you are.
Yeah.
See it all day long. And with social media, it makes it so much easier for people just to tell you whatever.
Oh yeah, you got to take everything like that.
To believe it.
That's why I get. What's funny is I watch people on X, like the big personalities over there, bitching and talking about the same kind of social media problems that I see people complain about on the Facebook side, and it's really funny to kind of see the contrast, between them. And God forbid you talk about Facebook to someone that's on X from an audio space, like they can't stand it. And no offense to anyone, but they both have things that could be desired from the other thing.
It's just a horse of a different color.
They're all trying to be like the everything app, which kind of makes it suck to me. Although some people don't like going on multiple apps, but I think that's kind of a reality nowadays.
Yeah, an unfortunate reality.
Well, but think about before they were apps, they were websites. You had to type in this website, go and log in, right? We didn't have a problem with that. So why is
Well,
it that we have a
like,
problem? You know,
until I started like my company, I never had a Twitter. I never had a fucking any of that. Like,
yeah.
Still
I
don't.
never had any of that shit. And then I started a company. It's like you got to be on this and this and this. I'm like, God fucking damn it! I just
Okay, so no, I totally get that, and that's why I got a bunch of these accounts. That's the only reason I'm on all these. I'm not really necessarily saying that the average person should have 10 different social media
no, I
websites.
wasn't saying that you were. I was just like,
Oh no, I
I
got
wish
you.
it could just all be in one and be done with it.
Right.
Well, you have to diversify. If you have a message you're trying to get out there, you have to diversify now.
Well, I don't like
You've always had to
centralization.
diversify. It's just that it's looked different in the past. You know
I
what
don't like
mean?
the centralization of power in any way, in any sense. And when you look at the public forum being online now, like no one goes to argue in the public square anymore. That's online. And I know
Right.
that's a talking point, but it's true. But the thing is,
Back.
some of these sites are like we already have problems with them because they censor us and this and that. If there's countries that basically run off of Facebook, and if they don't do what Facebook says, they're basically screwed. That's happened a couple times. I can't remember what country that was.
They go
But
to jail for Facebook comments. What was it? The UK that had that? They were
that's a
trying to
new
get
story. Yes, that's a new one. Yeah, that's a different than what I was saying. But yeah, they are going and
harassing people at home.
arresting that old man. Yeah, there's like an old man that got arrested for like offending somebody on social media, and it's like that's insane. I don't know how true any of that is, but it sounds crazy over there. But what I'm talking about is oh shit, I forgot what I was talking about it. Yeah, it's something like that. Anyway, moving on.
Just you were saying that they have a lot of power.
Right,
Oh,
like a
and
manipulation.
about the country that something to do with their COVID restrictions, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Facebook basically is like 51% of that country's communications. All of their emergency broadcast systems went through Facebook, which might sound crazy to us, but when we all a lot of, maybe not on purpose, but we get a lot of our news from Facebook, right? Or people that are just on Facebook. That's kind of widely known that there's that whole trope or that sort of stereotype of the person who gets their news from their Facebook feed. But that's kind of a lot of people. But my point is, like, some countries are even more like that's literally what they use for messaging and calling and all of their like emergency broadcasts, which are crazy. I can't remember what country that was. Austria, maybe. I don't think it was Australia. I'd have to go research it, but I remember the story, and it was like Facebook shutting off in that country basically shuts the country down. Imagine that kind of power, you know. And I just want to make sure there's always an alternative. So, like to your point, Alex, if I can have everything in one place, great. But I want to also have another place that I could go to if I don't like that place. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's and it's funny with Elon Musk, like he wants us to be multiplanetary on Mars because, and I agree with this, it lowers our chances of extinction as a human race if we're on more than one rock, right? I get that. But what's funny is like they penalize you in the algorithm on X if you put a link to anything outside of X. And I just want to tell them, like, Elon, I want to be a multi-platform internet creator. Like, I want to make sure I can't be extinct off of one platform by putting all my eggs in that basket. It's literally the same principle as to why he wants to go to Mars. And I'm like, imagine Earth as Facebook and you're trying to get to Mars, which is X. Like, you throw me a bone here, brother. Like, you know, so you can't post links there at all.
Well, business is business.
I get it.
Competition.
I get it. That's true.
Yeah.
I look at it from that perspective.
Well, and to that point, if we go with the space analogy, people that want to control us or control, you know, whatever power or resources, they wouldn't want us to be multiplanetary either, because then suddenly their grip on things is less. Because, you know, like in a crisis, the person who's got a bunch of like food saved up or they hoard, or they take things from everybody and they got the most, whatever it is. That is the person who feels like they're powerful. But when all of a sudden there's a whole world of possibilities opened up, people get hope, which back to today's topic, and they lose control, right? So there's people that probably have a vested interest in not letting us go anywhere. That's interesting and also sad. What's up, Brandon? Come up and grace us with your presence for a little bit. We've got a few minutes left of the show. We're about to do a spin. Actually,
saying the pharmaceutical industry doesn't have an interest or a vested interest in not actually curing anything, but keeping us on medications.
Right. They want you buying their product.
Business. Why do you think fucking Pfizer hasn't cured anything since they've been formed? Yep. Not one cure has come out of Pfizer. Not one. They don't want a cure because a cured person is a fucking a customer lost.
Right. They're no longer an asset to the company.
You learn how to treat people by the symptom. You're never curing them.
Right.
There's a medicine to keep them coming back.
Well, we gave our power to those people, because people wanted a cure for all of this stuff. They wanted to live unhealthy lifestyles that gave them heart disease and strokes and cancer and, diabetes and whatever. And, well, yeah, you don't want to have a heart attack. You don't want to have a heart condition. You don't want to have emphysema because you smoke. So you turn to your doctors and say, cure me, but you don't want to give up whatever it is that's made you sick.
100%.
So everybody wants to have their cake and eat it too.
I was thinking the same thing. I like cake. Sorry.
Well, yeah, But
the difficulty therein lies in the side effects from those medications. It may take care of some type of a symptom, but it's only a symptom.
It's a Band-Aid.
Yes, it's a Band-Aid.
People don't see it that way. They see it as, I'm sick and this is, doc, what kind of a pill have you got that's going to fix me so that, I feel better or whatever.
Well, people want, and honestly, I feel like this can be a future we have, especially if, and this is the ironic thing, if we get our act together as the human race, and say we imagine all these things we've imagined, medical beds that have this AI inside there that just he finds out what's wrong with you and heals you, but then like we can do all this stuff where like we can regrow teeth with stem cells. So all it actually does is allow people to be less healthy and live worse lifestyles because we have this technology. Replace your lungs, replace your heart, and I'm not saying right this minute, I'm just saying that's the line we're going down if we do things good. That's the irony of it, is if we make the good technologies that do things really like crazy like we're imagining, it's going to just allow more people to be more degenerate, I guess is maybe the best way to put it. It's an interesting thought though to have, but like the hope is we create a thing that can cure anyone, right? We want that, but that's going to allow people to just it's kind of like there's a trope in some shows, like there's plenty of TV shows and movies where they have the situation where no one can die for a certain period of time. Remember The Simpsons? There was an episode of The Simpsons where death was on vacation or whatever. No one can die. Everyone's just running around, just blasting each other in the head. No problem. This is great, But like that's kind of what would happen if here's a pill that fixes whatever, and that's kind of the irony of it. It's interesting.
Yeah, but we gave our power away. So instead of leading healthy lives and taking care of ourselves and doing things the right way, we went to the doctor and said, okay, well, medicine is such a miracle cure, doc, what you got that can fix my woes? And so now we have all of these pharmaceutical companies that have arisen to do just that. I have a person that's my ex-friend now. I'm reevaluating a lot of my friendships, but guy's got type 2 diabetes, which type 2 diabetes comes from you having
improper eating.
but you're not eating right. And this guy was like a garbage disposal, and he's overweight and stuff, and and he
But
takes.
that's why it's up to you. Your body is simple. Make good choices. Don't go cry wolf to the doctor later, because all he's going to be able to do is slap a Band-Aid on you. He ain't going to be able to cure what you done destroyed.
Well, and he's like, and I tell him, I would tell him, like, dude, like, you're eating, like, the shit that you eat, you're overweight and all of this stuff, and you have diabetes. Well, my A1C is under control because I take whatever, and blah, blah, this is under control because I take whatever. He takes 2 different diabetes medications. And I said, yeah, temporarily your body's going to be okay. I said, but that diabetes is going to rise up when you get a little bit older. And I said, it isn't going to matter what medication you take, because medication's only a temporary fix.
Yes.
But, people are, I don't know, they do what they do, and it's the same thing with food. I remember when I was a kid, the food that we had, like, my mom cooked actual food. We didn't eat food out of a box, or there wasn't all this prepared food. There were some prepared foods, but there wasn't a lot of prepared foods. And now it's like, I would wager that most people's diets are 90% out of a box or some kind of prepared food. People are not eating real food anymore. And a lot of our health problems are because of that shit. It's a combination of eating a shit diet that's all processed food that has absolutely no nutrition in it, and plastics. Have you seen some of the stuff that's come out, some of the research that's come out lately on plastics, where they're starting to find definitive links to cancer from these plastics that we're ingesting?
I'm just glad that in my family is a butcher shop and farms and all that shit. So I don't gotta eat any of that.
But you know what? One of the studies that came out, and I didn't read the whole study, and I don't really remember what it was now because I'm tired, but it was talking about microplastics, and that they're airborne now. So we're breathing that shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're, it's like, you're fucked.
Well, every bit of cancer or carcinogens consumed either by breath or by ingestion of, food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came into a great convo.
Yeah, it's not very hopeful. It's not very hopeful, Ken.
Well, but
I will give you the hope.
There is hope.
There is hope, and it's hope in us having these discussions and bringing light to this kind of information and saying, I don't know. I think people are starting to be a lot more aware.
They're going to keep giving you the same bull crap. We'll see. Trump's supposedly going to change it all and going to get rid of the doctors and all this stuff like other countries, because other countries don't have the food supply we do, but we'll see. I bet the greed still takes over America, and we still get the garbage that they feed us.
I think the problem is we can't just switch over right away, so it's going to take time.
They're going to want their money, so they're going to want you to keep buying their stock they already got invested.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that we demanded this food, because our economic system is based on supply and demand. And we live in a society, a fast society right now that demands instant whatever.
All right, but I'll push back.
We didn't know about it.
The clever packaging, the way that the switch to calories, counting calories, that was a whole propaganda scheme to get us away from looking at ingredients, right? True. And that was something that was done nefariously, like not to kill us, but to sell more products. And so that is something that I can't push on us. I have to give us a little credit there. Now, though, for like probably, what would you say, Kim, the last 4 years, 5 years, I'm pretty sure there's more than half the country that knows that we're eating garbage. I eat garbage every day, not on purpose. I'm little by little working on a better diet, but it's hard for everybody because you're so worked on a certain way of eating, to like just switch over. Even when you go to a restaurant, you might think you're sitting down to a nice restaurant. That food still has glyphosate in it, still has, whatever in it. Like it's not, you can't really get away with it, but us talking about it more, that's the hope. The hope is us talking about it more, pushing more new ideas, more ways around it, alternative packaging. Every time we talk about it, I want to get rid of more plastic out of my house. Like every time I look at plastic that I use for any kind of containers or whatever that have food, I want to get rid of that shit. Like I'm using cast iron now and stainless steel versus those non-stick things. So like there's a lot of stuff happening in a hopeful way. I will give you something though on the plastics. We found, and I've talked about this several times. We found a what is it? Is it a mushroom or some kind of mycelial that will eat plastics?
Mhm.
There's also a bacteria they found that will eat plastics, which is even more hopeful because that can be converted into something that can be put into someone in order to maybe help cleanse it. I don't know. I'm just I'm not a scientificness guy. I'm not a rocket surgeon.
You know
or
what
whatever.
I am? You know what I am? I am for every force, there's a force behind it that's equally reactive or whatever that.
Balance. Yeah.
That whole. So if you have bacteria that can eat plastic or worms that can eat plastic, what is the consequence of that?
Yeah, what is the
There is
excretion?
a consequence to everything.
That's
We
what
have
I
a
was
lot
thinking.
of
It worries
Yeah,
me. It
it sounds
worries
like-
me that if they overdevelop, biological means of, disposing of things, what's the consequence of that going to be? What are the long-term consequences of that? Plastic is not natural. It's not a naturally occurring thing. And
petroleum though.
Stop buying.
it's
Well,
kind of
it's
it's somewhat naturally occurring because it's a petroleum product.
yeah. If it's a natural thing, a natural creature that can eat oil in the ground, it probably can eat plastics. And you're not wrong, Kim. You're not wrong. You're worried.
Because look at the amount of plastics that we have out there.
Yeah, no, that's
You know what I mean? And if we overdevelop that bacteria, what's it going to jump to? Because everything jumps. Look at these
Futurama.
viruses. I mean, I'm
Futurama,
telling you.
Kim. Futurama. We stick it all together on a rocket and we shoot it in the sun.
But that.
The consequence
yeah,
of
but
all the
then
litter
what
on the earth destroying it.
Kim, they never gonna agree with what you say on here. You're brave, and I love
I
that
gotta-
you come on here.
You know
And
what? Let me
you
get
look
it.
That's okay.
You know, there's like a
Me too.
code on like our plastic containers that we're using, like on a scale of 1 to 10, or probably more than that. A little triangle.
Yeah,
And what's
for
in
the
that?
recyclability.
Yeah, it'll tell you based off of what it was used for before. Like it could be like soap
Right.
dispenser bottles, or like it could contain lithium-ion batteries. So it's like it's still not safe, no matter if it's recycled or not. You just got to get rid of plastics.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not healthy.
Particularly
And I started going to glass, but glass breaks. And it can be dangerous. So I'm looking now at like stainless steel and stuff.
Mason
Yep.
jars.
what are we talking about? What up, y'all? I'm Daz. I'm Daz.
What's up, Daz?
We're talking about hope.
Well, we're at the end. We're basically over. We're in the after time right now, but we've kind of
About
gone back and
hope?
forth.
And we
Yeah.
end on plastic? What the?
Yeah, hope, because the food industry is destroying us.
I'm trying to add hope to this
Yeah,
conversation
but
that we're going
we
down here.
allowed the food industry to destroy us
That's
by
why we
the
take it back.
fucking bad choices that we
We're
made.
working on that
well,
though. We're working.
Do you know? Let me tell you something. Do you know why I quit?
Let me
eating
tell you
fast
something.
food? Do you know why I quit eating fast food? Like I don't eat McDonald's. I don't eat any of that shit. Wendy's, none of that stuff. Do you know why?
Garbage.
Because
Because
Protein. It's
like
protein.
over
It's
2
fake.
years ago, whenever it was, I saw those videos of what that fucking meat is
Oh
made out of.
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
went, oh my God, that is
Disgusting.
fucking disgusting. And
Yeah.
I share that information with my students, and they're like, It still tastes good. I
Yum.
like it.
Yeah,
It still
what,
I
tastes
mean, the
good.
shit's
but I used to think
fire.
that way.
So
I mean,
without
I think
getting
there's a lot of
without it becoming political at all, I do hope that RFK does change quite a bit of what's allowed
Yeah,
to be
agreed.
consumed
Right.
and ingredients in our country. He's already talking about getting rid of all the fake dyes and bullshit. That's a step, at least in the right
Right.
direction.
Right.
Maybe go much further than that. Don't
Take
get me
it.
wrong, but
Take
it'd
it.
be the first step in the right fucking direction in a long time. Did you see the fucking food pyramid that the government put out a few years ago?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It has
That-
breakfast cereals on it that are loaded with sugar.
You said you weren't gonna
And
make it
breads and
political,
gluten
and
and
then you
dairy
made
and all
it
that.
completely political.
I'm
He's
sorry.
right.
I
But
said the government.
anyway,
I didn't pick a party. I said the
Right.
government.
Well,
no,
touche.
but the whole statement of everything you're saying. But I
The
just
health
think that
department.
I mean, since I got brought here and we're talking about hope, and since I think
And
food
goals.
and what there was something that was said that I want to say that Waylon said about people. Oh, well, wait, that Kim said about people letting this happen. I think what happened it too is we didn't have information to know better, and we trusted people we shouldn't, and then it gets put into the makeup. Our bodies
And the
change with
rise of
what
media started.
with
We
what
trusted the
with
FDA
what
way
we
too
eat
much.
over time, and so
Mhm.
and the abuse that our trust and love gets taken, like, on a scale for everything.
Same, Joe.
Like, if you want to buy Wicked, it costs $30. They've already made $1 billion off of that movie. That community is obsessed with it. They will buy anything involved. And instead of being happy and praising them for it and rewarding them, they exploit them further. And those idiots will buy it for $30. And we've done that throughout history. It is how marketing is. And when it
Mhm.
comes to the dollar bill, there's no middle ground with anything. Medicine, food, whether it's raw, processed, all of that.
Exactly.
Because I can't be neutral if I want to sell my product to you.
Yep.
And everything's a product, and everything's for
Well, yeah.
sale.
Even in
Marketing
countries
is
that
meant
Not
to
me.
appeal.
I remember, I don't, a lot of you guys are a lot younger than me, but, I remember when things lasted.
You look good for
You'd
your
buy a
age,
truck and
then.
shit,
Shout
you'd
out
be
to you
driving
for
that
that.
truck
What
for
you
40
been
fucking
eating?
years. You buy a truck now and you're lucky if you get 10, 15 years out of it. You know what I mean? Same with the
Yeah.
washer. I bought this washer in 2017, and that thing has given me more problems. It's broken down. It's got a lot of issues.
Get
No
yourself a cheap Maytag.
Maytag
kinda-
isn't the shit anymore. None of them are, because they don't build them to last. They build them because if you build something to last, then people don't buy a new wash machine.
Right.
It's called planned obsolescence.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually agree with this a lot. We talked about how, but let's be hopeful. Back to the hope. There's a lot of new companies. I like to look at a lot of small businesses. Shouts out to Tedibles. Shouts out to Mythic Genetics. Shouts out to the people out here doing it on the way up.
Let's Vibe TV.
Let's Vibe TV. Yeah. Well, these are like, I don't know. What do you sell? Let us know what you have.
What
Like,
we
you got
what
anything?
we sell is independent art of all forms.
Well, but you got a CD you sell, right? Don't you have like something?
I mean, yeah, me.
Not
I
a
mean,
CD, but a digital. I'm sorry, I'm old. You know what I mean? Like a digital album.
yeah, but we're talking about hope.
No, I was getting somewhere though. My point. You brought
You're
yourself
talking
into
about
it.
small. You're talking about it
Yes.
going against the grain and new businesses having principles that are not
On the way up.
business.
They're on the way up still. Those old companies generations later, we see it with so many companies, they're passed down or whatever, even if they're not passed down to kids or whatever. We think of them in our heads as the same brand as we grew up. Kraft mac and cheese, Oreos, whatever. None of that stuff is the same anymore. So the whole part of this rant is these new small businesses, these people that are making a lot more American-made stuff, which I enjoy, but sometimes it's a little pricey. I'm looking for that, like the dog food and things like that. When I get those canned dog food, I'm looking for American-made. I'm looking for some of those, symbols on it.
I'm starting to I'm not making my own dog food yet because I don't know enough about dog nutrition. But when my cat started getting sick and I started researching things, I make my own cat food now. I'm making my own cat food.
Wow.
I'll start making my own dog food. But
tell me when you do, because I need to learn.
Okay.
That'd be fun.
Because you have to add like nutrition into it.
Right.
Like all the vitamins and stuff that a cat or a dog needs are added into the dog food or the cat food geared specifically, and they have particular nutritional needs.
Right.
But I started making my own cat food, and it's kind of a pain in the butt because it's not quick. And I make big batches that last a while, but I'm gonna start making my own dog food.
I'd like to learn that too for healthy eating with my dog.
You know what the best diet for a dog is?
Raw meat.
That's what I do. I actually buy her.
I wouldn't be feeding any animal in this country raw meat because
Not from the store.
Right,
you go to a real butcher first, or you go to someone like.
Because
You go to
a cat. I just read where a couple of cats died from bird flu. They were fed raw chicken, I think, or something.
Yeah, I usually get
never raw chicken. Never raw chicken.
But
I think that, honestly, those who do not study history are doomed to repeat it. The only constant
and that
is
goes
change.
for any industry.
Yes,
Yep.
that goes for any topic.
You know what I've noticed lately is there's been a lot of food recalls.
Yes, there
What the
has.
hell is going on with all these food recalls? I would
Because
like
of the processing.
And plants being burned down and chicken farms mysteriously burning and all that shit. Yeah.
I mean, even like in why I said my show though is because in music and the way that the internet goes, the way that algorithms are destroying music and art, and the way that it's promoted and made, and how hard it is for people's voices to get heard, and how exploitative the independent art in general is, and Facebook and all that. Like the way I try to make my stuff, I try to teach people stuff, like making it myself, making my merch myself, making my own covers, just being completely self-sufficient as possible in my creation, and teaching other artists how to do that. It saves money, and it lets you not be taken advantage of and get your art stolen from you.
Yeah, with social media, there's no way to get.
I have hope for all of you. Have a good night.
Good night, Alyssa May.
Good night, Alyssa.
Bye, Alyssa.
Bye.
That's Elisa May.
So, and can't read.
To the topic, we were talking about hope, but also goals. We're kind of like originally, like in general, what's hope? What is hope? And then we looked at like we're talking about what kind of goals we might be like looking to branch ourselves out into some kind of new territory. So we'll ask you and Smashley, since you just got here, what kind of like, you don't have to give us the secret sauce, like not any specifics, but like, are you going to branch into anything new this year? Whether that's a new type of grow, a new plant, maybe you will see Daz Exotic with a cannabis plant this year, trying to learn how to grow that organic way. There's a lot of feedback, guys. There's somebody covering the mic or something.
Let me turn it down. I need my headphone thing.
So Smashley, if you wanna go first, what kind of new thing are you going to do? You're doing a lot. You do a lot of things. Is there anything new you want to get into?
You know, I would like to have some indoor citrus trees.
There you
All
go.
right. Okay.
Over there where you live, they'll have to be indoor.
Yeah. Yep.
It's part of the time.
So one of my dreams is to have an indoor orchard, not in my house, but like have a building where you have several different fruit trees indoors just all the time. That would be a lot of light, but imagine the payoff because they just a constant producer,
Right.
in the right condition.
Hell yeah.
I'd like to have a lemon and lime tree inside.
Yeah. I want
You
a
can-
lemon, lime, and orange tree.
You can mix some of those together. You can graft some of that stuff together.
Right.
Eventually, I want to get into some of that.
That would be a
great.
really pretty tree. Bush, rather. Or twisted bush.
One of my goals coming up, and actually very shortly, is going to be doing more bugs. I'm going to have praying mantis and ladybugs all over in this room. So I'm gonna be doing my show, and then it's gonna be landing on me and shit, like ladybug on the face while I'm talking.
No one's
Anyway,
coming over for an interview now.
That's
right? Okay, well, you know what? I don't care. I love the ladybugs I've had before, and I like them. They're fun. They're not They're not the best. Like they kind of remind people say they're like the T-Rex of the garden, but I like them. They're fun, but they're not like
Oh, that's
perfect.
the chicken.
Chicken, yeah.
I like praying mantis and all that. Like I don't even mind spiders. The only thing that I don't like are those freaking cockroaches. Ugh,
Still some-
Ugh,
can't
yeah,
stand
no,
those
thank you.
things.
So,
Kill those things.
does
What kind of
anybody?
bug do you like, Daz?
Okay, I was just making sure.
What?
I said, what kind of bugs do you like, Daz?
Oh no, I was. Well, first off, I didn't get to answer the first question, and I don't like no fucking bugs. Okay,
Oh, that's
maybe
right. Go ahead.
ladybugs are a little bit cute because they remind me of being at my aunt's house because she always had an old apartment and she'd be having ladybugs all up in the corner of that.
Yes, would he be happy to answer them?
I wanna stop. My goal for next. Do I have hope next year? I think there's always hope in
Very
everything.
hopeful.
There's always cool shit happening. Secondly, something new I'm gonna do. It's time to take it to the big screen. It's time to start writing scripts and start really painting a picture. I wanna I've already made 2 documentaries. It's time to make a movie.
I was born to be an actor, bro. You
I
just
got
correct.
I mean,
What's it? We're laughing at me right now. Look at this.
we
You tell
have
me.
a premise. We have a premise and everything. We got some dope stuff.
You're gonna tell me this guy wasn't born to be an actor?
No, bro.
Who is
I
that
see
guy?
your
Where's
old
he at?
pictures,
Where the
and I was like, Waylon should have been a supermodel.
He's deep inside this thick exterior.
I
He's
hope
inside there.
underneath that beard?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He's underneath something.
Yeah, my fupa is what I was talking about. My fupa. Anyway,
I gotta jump off here, guys. I just realized my phone is at 6%.
that's okay, man. I was just gonna start winding down anyway. We're about 2 hours and 20 minutes, so. But yeah, thanks for popping up, Alex. Thanks, man. And once again, hold on, throw it out. Probably people in here that didn't hear about it. Throw it out again, man, before you go.
Oh yeah, the February 15th. It's going to be Cupid's Canna Market in Farmington, Missouri. So even if you're in Illinois, if you know about the new Chester Bridge over there that they just built coming across, if you're anywhere near that, you're about 25-30 minutes from the actual event from Illinois.
Oh yeah.
So it's pretty close over that way. We're going to see if we can get some Illinois folks over there. I'll have the flyer out officially tomorrow with a lot of the vendors and all that on there.
Red 6, you down to go with me? I'll drive.
I would check my schedule and see what I got going on. But
All right.
Got some big names that are going to be on that flyer there. So looking forward to it.
All right, man.
What is it? It's a Canna-Fest?
Well, it's more Canna Market hangout. There'll be a smoking area and all that, and there'll be a lot of vendors from Missouri and a few from Illinois.
Awesome. Well, I hope that goes well for you, my guy.
Like a fest without the stage.
Yep, no stage or any of that. I mean, there'll be music on in the place, but no band or anything. It's a little bit
When
lower
you
key
say
than
big
that.
names, I was like,
Bro, if you want
Jelly
big
rolling
names.
that mother. No,
if you want me to come in there, I'll bring my harmonica, man.
I mean, big names when it comes to bigger names in the cannabis industry is what I was getting at.
All you need is somebody to bring a kazoo.
There you go.
I'll be dropping flyers. I like
one random dude in the corner with a didgeridoo. Like, fuck.
I got my spoons. Get the spoons in the jug.
Yeah, there you go.
I think I'd rather hear the didgeridoo.
My phone is probably going to die any second.
All right, man. Have a good night. Thanks again.
Alex.
Peace.
Please.
All right. I just shut the background music off. You guys let me know if I'm making any weird noise. Anyway, hit that like button if you guys haven't yet already. Who else we got? We got Kim. What do you want to do? You want everyone to join the Legit Bean Review? Go check it out, guys. And Red Six, what's up? What should people do? Tell them. Give it to them.
Veteran Boots to Bushes. We got weekly giveaways going on.
Every week to veterans. Give it up. We got Daz Exotic. What do you got next? You got tomorrow night's show, right? What's tomorrow night? Friday.
I did one. Me and Smash just finished one with They Were Legends.
Oh, you pre-recorded it? Okay.
Yeah. We pre-recorded it. But my song Beetlejuice just came out.
So you do or you don't have a live show Friday night?
I don't.
Oh, that's what I was confused with. I thought you had a show tomorrow night.
No, I said we just got done with one.
I thought you had multiple shows through the week. So tonight, tomorrow night.
Sunday, I got game night. Are you coming on and playing, Waylon?
I will have my son this weekend, so probably I would say no.
You played last week.
I did. I lost
a couple
spectacularly. It was it was 2 weeks ago because I took a week off.
No, I took a week off too. Look,
you took the same week off. Took exactly the same week off because I played the week before I was.
You played off. The last episode, I believe.
That's funny. Yeah, I lost spectacularly. I heard Smashley won. So if you guys want to check it out, Let's Vibe TV on Sundays. You get to
I didn't win 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
no, I was
she
on
didn't
that
win
week.
2 weeks in a row. Waylon was there the week you didn't win.
Yeah,
that's true. Bree won that week, and then but you won the first week of game night. Smash. It was crazy. It was her first time playing.
Beginner's luck.
She was going against some heavyweights. She won. Definitely worth tuning in. We have a lot of fun. Big personality. If y'all think I'm a jerk, don't take me personally. I love y'all. But
I do every time.
I know. I think I've been nicer. Kim, have I been nicer this time? Kim?
I've never known you to not be nice.
She's like, who were you on before? She said.
No.
No, it was great last time.
But you know who isn't nice is that one guy that freaking.
She doesn't like Coach.
Yeah, that guy's.
You and Coach don't like each other. Like that's the reason he came up, got all mad at me one time. It was because of Coach, the same guy that you don't like. Yeah, that's the same reason. Same reason that you got mad the one day.
No, Coach
because of the same guy.
Cool. I thought about that today, though. Coach
the same guy.
Too cool.
Oh, he sat there and he was talking shit to me about women. What was he saying?
He's a male. I don't know if it's male chauvinist anymore, but he's
Male
definitely
chauvinist pig.
pro male. Pro male.
And I put him in his place because I can't remember what he was saying to me, but I told him, I said, I was a single mom because my husband died. He was a veteran and he was killed in action. And I said, I single-handedly raised my son, but after I said,
Right, for him to sit
he
there and
didn't say anything after that. It shut him up.
yeah, it's crazy the shit I
Don't play
see
with
dads
me.
post. I'll be
Huh?
like, "You're really a dad," and you posted that. It's be mind blowing, but I don't know.
He's a
Once again,
narcissist.
I always think you say.
Gotta love him.
I think
Nah,
Not me. That
saying
guy
some
can
of the
that was
realest.
sarcasm. 1000%.
He can fuck right
I
off.
think. I think you be
Fuck
saying some
right
of the
off.
realest shit I hear on here, Kim.
Huh?
I think you be saying some of the realest shit I be hearing on here. Kim and Smashley for president.
Yeah.
I'm a very honest person. Like I say it, like I see it.
Could call it cash.
Well, speaking of Smashley, you can follow her at Ashley Huffman or join
Yeah.
her group, Smashley's Garden, on Facebook and on X. Smashley's Garden on X.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a little more.
Smashley's Garden. Well, we've got, let me look at how many's over there. 33 from X. So that's, might find somebody over there. Listen, it's been fun. We got Ted with the Tedibles. He's eating some right now. He's going to pass out any second. Ted,
That's
you
from
need to
the
make it.
Pico.
Oh, okay.
Your
That's
I took my
what?
Pico at night.
Oh, your Fico?
Oh,
Yeah.
What about them feet, though?
Fully extracted cannabis oil.
It was a
I
stretch.
be smoking my blunts.
Do you make your own Fico,
Okay.
Ted?
No,
No?
I don't actually produce enough flour for that. I use my flour for smoking and concentrate.
Cool. I do.
Waylon, are you
Mine-
trying to say something?
Who, me?
Waylon.
Oh.
Is he
I
doing that
see
on
his lips.
purpose?
I hear
I
you.
never know if
doing
he's
that.
joking.
Waylon's muted.
He's being Waylon. This friend of mine contacted me a couple of weeks ago and he says, "Hey, roll me a joint." And I told him, I said, I don't do that. Like, I don't smoke joints. I've never rolled, and you don't want me rolling. I said, I can give you some shit, right? And he's like, okay. So he comes to my house and I got a baggie and I put a bunch of shit in it, right? And he's like, "That's not a joint." And I said, "I told you I don't roll joints." And he's like, "Well, how am I supposed to smoke this?" And so I gave him a bunch of cones that I had, right? So anyway, I have a shit ton of weed in there. Like, I need to go through it because it's probably not any good anymore.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's going to be nice and stale.
Yeah. You
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, though, now?
Yeah.
No, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You have your third eye in your beard.
Actually, now I now have two different microphones in my beard.
I was going to say one of them's got a laser green dot.
One of them died. That's
should've
because the
got
other one
those
died.
Christmas bulbs.
Okay.
This one died.
His beard is glowering at us.
It's watching us.
Yes. No, it's
Hey, tell your beard to stop staring at me, bro.
It's glowering at us.
There's some show that I forget the name of the show, but the show, like, this guy has a fist comes out of his beard.
Oh my God. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, no, but on that note, let's get out of here. Tedibles,
movie
love you, brother.
Or that
Yeah, except for instead of out of the mouth, it's like, yeah, I gotcha. Anyway, you guys, thanks. Have a good weekend. Come check us out on game night and then the other game night. Got 2 game nights, one and then the other. We need to do like a raid. We need to raid from mine to yours. Yeah, we need to raid it. Anyway, we'll see you guys later. Have a good night.
Both ways.
Good night.
Remember,
Happy New Year.
no matter what you got to do out there, think a little bit more about what you eat because all of us got to do it to live, right? So, guys, have a good weekend. Hit the like button. Peace out. Good night.
Yeah, this is for my green thumbs in the game. Wheeling the indoor farmer, check my name. Sustainability, we about to reclaim. This is how we do it, keep it in the frame. I'm whaling the farmer, the indoor king. Living off the grid, what the city can't bring. Got my hydro setup, my LED lights. Growing all my greens, all through the night. Self-sustain, that's the mission. Growing my own, I'm not missing. Indoor farming, the hustle's real. Whalers here.